broader things that are happening globally. It's about the people in that scene that make the culture.
Right.
So like, remember when Eric Yo used to run like the food truck rumble? Like he made the decisions of who's going to be the judge, how many rounds. Like it was just him, just like one dude made that jam. That's what hip hop is. It's just like individuals kind of going, I want the culture in my local scene to look like this. Like I'm gonna have a training session. You know, you're an agent of the culture. Like you can create stuff in your scene, and it can it can lit a fire and create a sort of movement. And that's how hip hop or breaking has always developed. It's like individuals creating like unique styles, and then those styles kind of blowing up, and everyone starts breaking like Luigi. You know, it's like it's not that like from the top down the Olympics did like, or other structures did stuff. Like they're always gonna have an impact. You know, the kind of jams that are big, that big event organizers like Red Bull or whatever are running, that has a huge impact. But what also has an impact, and it always has, is like the influential members of a scene and what they do in that scene.
The individuality.
To produce and push it and innovate. And so I think what's also really cool about the culture is that individuals have like they have a lot of power to like shape the scene. And I think the future is, I think the Olympics is dope for many reasons. I also think it like the music's like lacking, like there's not as much funk or hip hop in those beats. There's a lot of things that like I feel like what I like about breaking isn't in those jams. Like sometimes they're, as a competitor, like as a spectator, sorry, they're kind of boring to watch. Like but they're also dope in all these other ways. Like really cool to see how much women participation there is in the upcoming Olympics. It's also cool to see like how many rounds people get to do. That's like a rarity I haven't seen. I don't know. There's I don't know. I'm just like rambling, but I think there's like, I'm not like a hater to any of the things that change. Breaking, I just always see it always changing. And I think what maybe people forget is that like you have like a lot of agency to change it.
You need to.
And so if you don't like it, then why don't you create a movement? Like, do you think Joe from Liverpool Street, like creating Destructive Steps, was like someone told him to do that? No, he just made a choice and created like a whole movement from that event. Like everyone can do that, and it doesn't have to be a competition. It can be a cypher jam, it can be a party, it can be like, I don't know, anything you want. So I think the future of the scene, I'm kind of like excited to see what people make it.
Wow, that is a really good answer, because now that's just making me reflect on myself more of like, wow, like the culture actually starts with you as an individual. Like, who are you influencing? Like the music that I choose to play at practice.
Exactly.
You know? And then even my own student, I have like a prodigy student who's like 9, but I'm getting him to do a lot of power. I'm like, let's build up your power first. But then he practices with my crew, and most of the time we're doing footwork, and he goes, I like footwork because he sees me doing it all the time, and I'm influencing him a lot. And wow, it goes to show like that's a responsibility of, now that you're, whatever culture you're in, you're actually responsible for how you're shaping it.
And I think you should remember that other dancers, like if we just look at dance styles, like say if we were into ballet, you know, it's kind of random, but we wouldn't have that power. Like everything would be run through schools or institutions. Like we would have no ability. We'd have to do what the like school of ballet kind of dictated us to do, because it's only. But breaking doesn't have that. We have a freedom. Like
Red Bull, we're out of the matrix, bro.
Red Bull doesn't own what we can and can't do. You know, even if the Olympics say you can't throw the cock at our jams, that doesn't mean you can't throw it at my jam. You know what I mean? Like, like the rules that institutions impose they're so new in breaking. We've often had a history of like, young African-American Latino kids in the US just kind of doing what the hell they want to do. And that still exists today. There's definitely there's more companies and organizations and structures. Like the Olympics is that. But the Olympics probably only going to be next year, and then it's going to die out. And then, you know, Red Bull might not also be running breaking jams in the next 10 years. Like think of the future and what you can do to affect it. So that's what I'd say.
Wow. Damn, that's crazy, bro. I love how we ended up on that one.